Hi, and welcome to Female Entrepreneurs Magazine, your go to platform for ambitious women who are ready to take the business world by storm. I'm your host, Angel France, and each week we'll dive into the latest strategies, stories, and success secrets from the most inspiring female entrepreneurs around the world. Welcome to the Real Female Entrepreneurs. Today's guest is living proof that you can be both powerhouse and peaceful goddess all at the same time. She is the fabulous CEO of Jewel Consultancy and a work life harmony and leadership coach who helps women lead with compassion, clarity, and that unstoppable sparkle you all have. She's not just a coach, she is a professional speaker, a Colorado attorney, a certified meditation facilitator, and a holistic counselor from Australia who knows how to slay stress. Oh my God, we all need that slaying and negotiate from the heart. She's brilliant in heels and hiking boots. Please help me welcome the radiant Arlene Cohen Miller. Welcome, Arlene.
Oh, it's so great to be here. Thanks for that intro.
Oh, thank you. Oh my God. You are totally amazing. I mean, attorney, professional speaker, on and on. I mean, holistic counselor. I'm just amazed. And you know what? All of those things are needed to make you the entrepreneur you are.
Yeah, I love how all that we learn and we do and we experience all comes together to help us serve in really unique ways.
Mhm. So, I know you've been a basically an entrepreneur, a business owner your whole entire life almost, correct?
Well, I opened my first law firm when I was 29. So, for 3 years, I worked for another attorney, and I didn't graduate law school till 25. So I really wasn't an entrepreneur when I was going through, college and law school. I was just learning.
Yeah, but I mean, before the age of 30, you became a business owner.
I did.
Wow, you have so much to teach us, I know. So what flipped the switch way back when to just get you to say, "Okay, I am going out on my own." What
Well,
happened?
I didn't know it when it happened, but I guess my father was kind of my hero, and he was an entrepreneur, a very kind of unique entrepreneur. His father and his father's brothers came over, I think, from Russia, and they started movie theaters. And so they founded them, they bought them, they refurbished them, and my father worked for them for a while, and then he said, "I want to go out on my own." So he started a business called Standard Vendors of Louisville, Kentucky, and he sold cotton candy and concessions and machines and everything to movie theaters and schools. And I worked for him a little bit when I was a teenager, not much, but I loved to go in there, especially when the day they pop popcorn. And I loved to go with him when he's walked around and we drove around and went to the different movie theaters. There was still a handshake and it was a different world. And he really inspired me.
So that is amazing. So from a very young age, you were able to witness that it was no contracts back then, really, just like you said. It was shaking that hand, one-on-one, having that agreement. And then you became a lawyer, and that was nothing but contracts, correct?
Yeah, I didn't write a lot of them, but yeah, I did have to know contract law for sure as a lawyer.
So what made you move from lawyer to what you do now?
Well, I was a lawyer for 30 years and I did love it. And it was a great experience. And being a lawyer is not like a piece of cake. The first 12 years I was a divorce attorney, so I'm getting people at their worst. And, you're dealing in the court system with the parents don't agree, there's custody issues, and it was just breaking my heart.
Mm.
And I just switched to commercial law. In the bill, when I opened my first law firm, I was sharing office space with two other attorneys, an employment agency, and a retired preacher who was selling collection packages to businesses. And he needed an attorney to help him if they couldn't settle things, amicably. And that's how I got into the business. at a pretty young age, and then I ended up switching to commercial law to keep my sanity. I mean, I loved helping businesses collect their debts. People deserve to get paid, and there was like business meetings in a business meeting in Chicago. I went up there. I made a bunch of connections, and that was all she wrote. I know I think it got off exactly what you asked me, but
It's
yeah.
okay. No, I love that. I love the progression. So what brought you to coaching after that? Are you still practicing law or are you
N- No, I'm
maneuvering?
not still practicing. I still have my license. I'm not going to give that up. When I was about, I think about 6 or 7 years before we sold the business, I had some amazing women friends, and one of them had started her own coaching business to train coaches. She had gone through the training and she just felt like it didn't have enough heart. You know, she wanted to work with the International Coaching Federation, and I am licensed through them. And but she just thought there can be so much more heart to it. So she started her own coaching company, and I think it was the third year that she was in business. I went through her diploma of like coaching, mentoring, and facilitation. And I also got that diploma in transformational holistic counseling with another really cool woman friend of mine who started her own business with that for the same reason. And then my friend that I got a meditation certification from, she was an Aussie as well, and she had come over to the United States to go to college. And the college itself was like they did a lot of meditation stuff. It was a very unique place, and so she really knew what she was talking about. And the law was very stressful. And I thought, I could probably do with knowing how to meditate. I think that would help me a lot. And so I got that certification as well, all before we sold the business, and all while I still felt that I was just going to, have a law firm and be an attorney for the rest of my life.
And then I'm sure that meditation helped you in law firm. Oh, so much. Did it give is that one reason it helped you slay stress? Is that how you learned that?
Well, it was a small step at a time. I mean, I started off with like that really mindfulness walking where your eyes are open and you're enjoying nature. Because I'm like, I can't sit still. You can't make me do that. It took a while to, get from one step to the other so that I could meditate, but it really did help tremendously. Any woman that's really stressed out, there's all different kinds of meditation, and it really does help a lot.
So tell us about your programs that you have, your 2 businesses you have now. Do you mind going a little bit more in depth to both of them and how they actually work?
Well, it all comes under the umbrella of Jewel Consultancy because we're all many facets of a diamond. So I'm doing a lot of things, maybe more than two. I am a work-life harmony and leadership coach for women, and that's coaching. And I just focus on women because um, I started my own business at 29, and a month into doing that, I found out that I was pregnant. All of my ex's family was in Louisville, Kentucky, and we were in a suburb 6 hours away in Cleveland, Ohio. And all my friends from law school, I just graduated that not that long ago, they were all practicing in that neck of the woods as well. So I didn't have a tribe. And it just felt like, so I had to develop a tribe back then. And that helped to be a better attorney. And it also helped me to think, I really need something more than just practicing law
Wow.
because law school didn't teach me how to listen. Surprise, surprise. They don't teach lawyers how to listen very well. And so I decided I'm going to learn coaching. I'm going to learn healing, and I'm going to learn all those different skills that you've talked about so that I can be a clearer, brighter attorney and help people more profoundly. And that's why I ended up getting all those extra degrees and stuff, and it did help in the practice of law. So I do the coaching, I do transformational mentoring, I do meditation, and just recently I'm getting out to more doing speaking and workshops.
Wow. But I see that they all just come into one little all together. They mesh
Yep.
together. They're not like
Yeah.
different worlds totally.
No, and I think we all have a lot of different gifts, and it's important to bring all the skills that and abilities and classes and everything we've worked with along the way to be this person. We don't have to be like one dimensional. If something else is striking our fancy as well, it can all sort of come together under one big umbrella.
100%. And thank you for saying that because some people think, oh, I have to just do this. I love the fact that you've explained the fact that they can do multiple things because as entrepreneurs, we have a tendency to do that because we're so creative.
Yeah, and it's and that we're not, that way we're not stifling ourselves. We're not saying, "Oh, I've learned how to do this and I'm getting clients here." Well, for me personally, some people wanted to be coached, some people wanted to be mentored. They're two different, very different things. They both help people, but coaching is like I'm walking alongside of you, I'm partnering you. I know that you have all the answers within you. And mentoring is stand on my shoulders, honey. I've got some wisdom here that I can share with you that's going to help you move forward. So they're different things, but they're really just different sides of a jewel or a coin that, and people can decide what works for them.
Jewel Consultancy.
Yeah, there you go.
So you mentioned your son and becoming pregnant and everything. So let's talk about the dynamics of having a business as an entrepreneur working and the chaos that can happen with that and your taboo word balance.
It's not totally taboo. When I first went into this coaching stuff, I called it, work life balance, the work life balance coach. And then I'm like, because that's what everyone called it. And I was like, this is just not working for me. It feels like the scales of justice. And you never get perfect balance. There's no such thing as perfection. And it felt like it was holding women up and myself up to an impossible standard of perfection. And we really don't want to do that for ourselves because we need to be flexible and adaptable in every moment of our lives or we're going to lose it, right? So I feel with harmony, it's just more of a heart thing. We're gonna sometimes one thing needs more of our attention, sometimes something else. We can't do everything for everybody. We need a tribe. We need to be able to delegate. And harmony just sort of helped me to go, oh, I can breathe out. I can function that way, and I can model that for other people, and not try to hold us to a standard that's not possible.
Yeah, because balance sometimes, I mean, things come up and we can't balance everything. I mean, I feel like sometimes it's a juggle.
It is. Or how many plates am I spinning with these straws or these sticks or whatever it is that the jugglers do? I don't know. Please don't drop.
Boom, it crashes.
Yeah.
I'd say
Yes,
that's
it's
what, yeah,
yeah.
definitely. So everything you've learned so far, what would you go back and tell your 18-year-old self?
Oh, well, first of all, maybe take a chill pill. And I was really hard because when I was young, I looked like a kid, I got out of law school when I was 25 and I still looked about 17 or 18. So I always wanted to be older when I was younger and always be more experienced instead of taking the time to breathe and really enjoy the ride. And because I was just so like, oh my gosh, how are we going to be successful? How am I going to do this? And blah, blah, blah. And I don't think we're doing ourselves a favor at all putting that kind of pressure on us when we have the ability just to take a step at a time, maybe get some mentors or to help us, give some advice. Form a tribe of other women, which I did do. A girlfriend of mine started it. Saved my butt. I love her. It just makes it easier and not to put all that stress on ourselves that it's not okay to be young and we have to know everything, which never happens when you get older anyway.
Mm-mm. It doesn't. It really doesn't. I wish it did. All right, let's talk a little bit more about business. Do you mind giving us a hint of like a game changer that actually moved the needle on your business and like a strategy that you used and it worked and you were shocked?
Um, well, I don't know if it was a strategy. Well, I guess it could be a strategy. I just realized after 12 years of practicing law, and I was doing mostly divorce and dissolution of marriage and child custody. I was doing a little bit of the commercial collection work that I ended up going into. And I realized that if I stayed in this area of law, it wasn't going to be pretty. I needed to get out. It's a very kind of toxic area to practice law in because people are not at their best. A lot of attorneys are not at their best, and the judicial system has a lot to be desired when it comes to taking care of kids.
Mm.
And so the best thing I ever did was to say no to that. And I remember telling my secretary, we didn't have paralegals back then, we had secretaries, if anyone calls for a divorce attorney, here's three names. You give them those and say, I recommend them. And I got like more requests to be a divorce attorney or a domestic relations attorney in like the first month I said no to that than like in the past year. And so it's like the universe was testing me, going, are you sure? Are you sure? I'm like, I'm really, really sure. And I switched. I went to some big meeting in Chicago. I started making connections, and I'm just so glad that I had the wherewithal and knowing that if I would stayed in there, it would have been really bad for my health on all levels, mental, emotional, physical, spiritual, everything. Just to have the courage to say, I need to switch into this.
Mhm. So, testing. Let's talk about the test that the universe throws at us sometimes. So, sometimes, there's two thought patterns here. One is you're being tested to say, "Hey, are you sure you're going to really do this?" Or the other thought pattern that I hear a lot is I'm being tested to to and I shouldn't be, or I should be doing this because it keeps coming at me and it's testing me. So, I mean, I've had 2 points of view that people have had. I actually believe with you, if you made a firm conviction, you know, that that is the way you have to go, then you need to stand on the ground. Do you agree with that?
I do, and it's like when it's really important because what happens is we get this realization, this inspiration that this is what I need to do now. And when that happens, I go with it. Even if in the middle it feels like challenges and sludge and moving through, and why did I do this? And this is so hard, blah, 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 blah. I got that inspiration. The universe told me this is what you're supposed to do. We didn't say it wasn't going to be challenging on the ground. We didn't say it was going to be a piece of cakewalk. And maybe it would be easier to go back to the old. But the best way for you to be of the best service and to evolve and grow the way you want to, this is what we need to do moving forward. So I firmly believe that, and even though I was a lot less spiritual at the time, I just knew that in my heart of hearts when I got that inspiration. It was a line in the sand, and that was it.
So I love the fact you brought up challenges and sludge, and you're going to go through things, and it's not going to be all rose petals and roses and misting, smelling roses all the time.
Has it ever been your whole life ever? I don't. Who has that kind of
Mine
life?
is, no, I'm joking. Mine is definitely not. But some people think that, and so what is a myth that you think? So that's a thing that lots of entrepreneurs think. They think that it's going to be that way, all rose petals and roses, not a challenge. So besides that, what is another myth that you think that entrepreneurs, business owners have that you wish they would kick to the curb?
Well, we've already talked about it, and that's perfectionism.
Mm.
Because if we hold ourselves to a standard of perfectionism, we're just setting ourselves up for failure and we're setting ourselves up to be horribly miserable. So we need just to stop that. There's no such thing as being perfect in this human body on the ground. We came here to learn and to evolve and grow. And that might mean that we're moving through sludge and mud and there's challenges and we're like, why the heck did I sign up for this? But it's in the learning and the growth that there's the real value, and we can take that into our hearts and really make a difference from there.
So, and let's go back to family because a lot of people have a little difficulty with this. I mean, you already had a business and you were raising a child while you started a business and everything. Do you mind giving us some scenarios because you've been through the whole life with him, scenarios on how to keep the balance or harmony or keep the plates juggling a little bit, and just to with your personal life, just how to maneuver through those 2?
Oh my God. It was by the seat of my pants, because I remember like when my son was growing up, I'd read these self-help books, like how to, wean them from diapers to the toilet. And I try something on him and he was way too smart. And I go, throw that book away. So I just tried to do the best I could. I had other women friends who were raising children. We would talk to each other. And I just would give something a go. If it worked, great. If it didn't, fine. And there was things looking back, as now a grandmother, I would do things differently, but I just did the best I could at the time to be his mother, to help him evolve and grow, to get him in activities that he loved, which eventually I
Mhm.
did because he found them and I helped to, guide him once he found what he loved. But I don't have any magic pill here. I can remember when right after he was born, I had a trial, like one of my first trials on my own as an attorney, and there was a picture of me and I was holding him in the arms and I was going through the case notes and taking notes about how I wanted to do this trial. So I wish I had words of wisdom that you do it like this or that. And I think we really can learn from each other, but we just need to follow our own hearts when it comes down to it and do the best we can and not beat ourselves up if we make mistakes as a working mother.
Mhm. And you're a grandmother now, correct?
I am. I am a grandma now.
Oh, that's got to be fun.
It is fun.
So is the saying that that you would take the grandchildren instead of the kid a philosophy in your world, or it's like what's how do they say that if I could have the grandkids first, you would have the grandkids first? Something to that
I,
effect.
I don't know. I've heard in quote days of old that the elders were the ones that raised the kids, and the parents could come and spend as much time as they wanted to, but the elders were the one that has all the wisdom. I mean, I think both stages of life have their joys and their
Mhm.
challenges, and I would be lying if I said I didn't have any challenges as a working mother. That would be not true. But I think we all
Mhm.
have challenges no matter what path we take in life. So I'm enjoying both of them, although being a grandmother is really nice.
So talking about challenges, let's talk about a woman who's in the middle of a mess and she's ready to throw in the towel. She doesn't have the I'm standing on this. I know I have to quit. She's just in the middle of the mess. What advice do you have for her?
Embrace the mess.
Mm.
I mean, whose life isn't messy? Whose life is perfect? And I sort of feel that our life goes up and down hills, and sometimes it's a lot easier, and sometimes it's harder. And first of all, we need to have in place self care and self love practices to take care of ourselves. I don't care if you have 3 kids in a business, you need to make time for yourself because we can't give from an empty cup. So we have to find ways to fill our cup up with love and self care, whatever that means to you. I don't care if it's a mani pedi or going out in nature, like a nature girl I am, and going out and look at the mountains of Colorado and walking around. Whatever helps to relax you and let go of stress, you need to make sure it's a part of your life. We can't wait for our kids to grow up. By then, we'll be a puddle on the floor because life is going to be challenging. It is going to be difficult. That's just the way it is. It's a busy world. And so instead of judging ourselves about it, find ways to have self care, and if possible, have a tribe, maybe some women friends that support you, or if you have enough extra cash, maybe someone who cleans your house or helps out a couple times a week with the kids, some things that gives you the freedom to breathe a little bit.
Wow, what great advice. The simple reason that housekeeper, it's cheaper for you to hire the housekeeper than do your own housework usually, unless that would it gives you joy. I know some people, they just absolutely love cleaning their house.
God love them.
I don't. What about a sneak peek into the future? What should we keep an eye out on for you?
Well, I am in the process of getting out there more and more as a speaker, and my keynote or workshop, I really want to do a lot more workshops, is about negotiating from the heart with executive presence
Mm.
because I love I'm a member of the Colorado Women's Bar Association. I'm the only grandmother there, I think.
Oh,
And I really love giving back because I wish I'd had someone like me when I was growing up as an attorney. Um, But I really feel that we can negotiate, we can bring our hearts into it, we can bring the feminine strengths into it, which is a lot about our relationships, and bring that really strong executive presence into negotiating as well, because we all need to know how to communicate and how to reach agreements and how to actively listen to people so they feel heard and understood, which is a really big gift. So I'm really passionate about it. It brings the law, it brings coaching and mentoring together as one, and even some meditation stuff. And it just feels like a package that could really help a lot of people.
Yeah. I love how you constantly bring up tribe. It is a word that you constantly bring up that makes people understand that they need support and that network from other people to grow.
Yeah.
Mhm. All right.
Having a tribe is a kind thing to do. I'll just say that.
I agree. You need that the people around you, definitely. All right. Unexpected. Tell us something about you that we wouldn't think would
I
happen.
am a closet introvert. Yeah, I know I seem really outgoing and everything, and I can do the outgoing thing and be with people a lot. And then I have to go back to my cave and be with myself or go out in nature and be with myself. I do enjoy my own company, and that's my little sanity secret.
That is so cool. I like that. Well, a lot of us have to do that because I mean, I'm very outgoing. I'm a little over the top outgoing, but I sometimes have to retreat. All right, a favorite song,
My favorite song is America the Beautiful and oh, the black singer
Ray
um,
Charles.
Ray Charles.
Yeah.
Yes, if I ever want to cry, there's one he did it at some stadium. It might have been a football game, and he did America the Beautiful, and he sang and oh my God! And they had servicemen and women pulling out the American flag, one of those super huge
Oh,
ones, and it always makes me cry. I don't know for what, but just the way he does it is so beautiful.
it's a gorgeous song, and he does perform it absolutely perfection. Book or books?
So you asked me that question. I know the first time I answered it was a different one, but I came as I was thinking about coming here today. I There's this book called A Wrinkle in Time that I read in the fifth grade, and it was about a girl whose father had gotten kidnapped or somewhere and was somewhere else in the universe, and she was traveling all over the universe and having these adventures to find him. And I don't know, it opened up something in my heart and mind that we're just a little planet here hurling through space. There's much more out there, and it just sort of like, wow, I know it's a bigger world than what we're
Mhm.
experiencing here. And the other one, there's another one as well. I love the book Illusions by Richard Bach. I really love all of its books. And it's just a really cool story about um, how to enjoy your life no matter what you're doing. He was like one of these little, is when they had these little planes that were like the propeller planes, and he would fly from town to town. And he ended up finding a mentor who was also flying planes who wanted to get out of that business and pass all of his wisdom on to him. And it's just this really cool book about what's important in life and to really, enjoy the moments.
Oh, okay, on my list. And I do like The Wrinkle in Time. I do think that's good.
I know, I can't believe you read that book too.
I did. All right. Words to live by, a quote that you just love.
Any disaster can become a blessing, any blessing can become a disaster, and there's always a better way. So
Oh,
even if we get lemons, we can turn it into lemonade. And don't get too full of yourself, or you can turn the lemonade back into lemons. But no matter what happens, if we're evolving and growing, we're going to always learn that there's a better way than what we did something before. And so it's important not to stagnate, but to always be learning and evolving and growing.
wow. All right. If you could have a superpower for just 24 hours, one day, what would it be?
I would be able to teleport and see my friends in Australia at the drop of a hat. So
Oh,
yes, it's 3 plane rides to get there, but to be able to teleport would be a lot of fun.
she'd be with her tribe. I love that. All right. Motivation. Sometimes we can run on empty. What is your best way to stay motivated or get motivated?
Um, I guess it's just is the my superpower is not my superpower, is gratitude. Because
Oh,
gratitude is just such a high vibration, sacred quality. Even if we feel like, oh my gosh, I don't have anything left in me, of course I'll go out in nature for a while. But when I have something to be grateful for, it can be anything. It can be someone let me in and I was driving and I couldn't get in the other lane and this nice person let me in, or I had this really nice conversation at the grocery store. There's always beautiful things that we can be grateful for, and if we just focus on that, because what we're focused on is what we're going to get more of, not all that stuff we want to complain and moan about, our life is going to be different. So play with gratitude.
you know, I look at gratitude as something that is a requirement of us because every day is a gift and we should be grateful for everything that happens to us, good or bad, because even when it's bad, it's a lesson learned.
Right, exactly, because that's what we can ask ourselves. This might have been really difficult. What did I learn from this that I can remember in my heart of hearts and take with me forever?
Mhm.
And it might be, I don't want that kind of person in my life anymore, but that's a good learning, you know?
So, talking about gratitude, people are always grateful for our guests that are on here. What is the best way for them to stay connected with you?
Oh, that was a nice segue. You can text me at 720-936-2634. Remember to, in your text, put FEM for our beautiful show. And just remind me that that's where we met. And whatever question you have or whatever you're looking for, I will respond to you most quickly that way.
Yeah, and I think you actually have like a quick little 10-minute that you'll do with them as
Ye-
well.
Yes, I do. I do soul readings, which is a heart-to-heart connection, and I'm happy to do a little soul reading with you. You pick a card, I pick a card. We can do it online, and give you maybe a words of wisdom. We'll see what would happen, and but happy to give that to anyone who's watching this show.
Oh, that's amazing. All right. So before we leave, I know you're going to have a drop mic moment for our people. So, what is something that you would love to share with them that we haven't talked about yet?
Well, it was going to be gratitude, but that came up before. But I guess just humility. You know, a lot of people nowadays, they're not so humble. And when we bring that humility in there, just knowing how far I've come and going, oh my God, there's like the Grand Canyon where I need to go, and I'm right in the middle of it. And in the middle of that humility, if it's like it was a seesaw, is acceptance. So give yourself the gift of self-acceptance. I love and accept myself, warts and all. I'm okay as I am.
I love it. Arlene, you're amazing. Thank you for being on here. Mwah. I appreciate it. Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Female Entrepreneurs Magazine. I hope you found inspiration, actionable tips, and a sense of connection with our incredible community of driven women. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, leave a review, and share the episode with fellow entrepreneurs who are ready to elevate their game. Remember, your success is just the beginning, and we're here to support you in every step of the way. Until next time, keep shining, keep thriving, and remember, you have the power to create the business and life of your dreams. Stay inspired, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.